Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Better see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
What is up? What is up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy Bird Gang 31 in the building. How's everybody doing today? I had to go get a very special guest. It's my brother from another mother. It's Dante Dark Knight in the building. How you doing today, my guy?
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up, BG? Pleasure to be here with you, man.
Yeah, I heard you hop on the show yesterday. You know, you wanted to get some talking. I seen it was in your blood. You wanted to get some things off your chest. And we're gonna talk about it tonight, man. Thanks for coming by. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk state of the Eagles, man. State of the Eagles whole, from scheduling to players on the roster. You know, we're gonna try to dissect this team, let the fans know, how this team is looking for the 2023 season. But before you do, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe if you had not subscribed before, because we'll be bringing that Fire Eagles content. So first off, they're going after our boy, our first round draft pick again. They're going after him. They're trying to say that he's a thug. He's a gangster now. Man, I got the video here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the video. Then we're going to talk about it. Let's see what happened here. I was jamming. Jamming. Wait, what do you think? People are just really going overboard with how they're treating this kid. You know what I'm saying? Are they just really that unsensitive to, this guy just became a first-round draft pick, starting his way in the league, trying to, bring his own presence, bring his own swag. But now, people are just attacking him left and right.
Yeah, I think that he's a 21-year-old kid, man. I was listening to Sports Talk today. Hugh Douglas spoke on this. Now, he has more connections than I do. And he said that through people that he trusts, the word is that, Hugh, this dude is no different than any other 21-year-old coming into the league, man. Just realized their dream of being drafted into the NFL, just became a newly minted millionaire. He's no different than any other young person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take it as that. And we heard we know the risks involved now. Let's stop all the chatter and let this man live his life. Let if you think that's it, let him prove you right. I think he's going to prove you wrong, but let him play it out. I mean, that's over. It's all over. He's an Eagle now. Let him go on with his career, and we'll see what he turns into. I'm done with all that talk and of what he is, who he is, why you bypassed him and all that. It's fine. I'm glad you bypassed him because now he's an Eagle, and I'm willing and ready for him to go ahead and prove himself to the league. You know, we had this situation with Warren Sapp, you know, smoking a little weed. They tried to make him a gangster. And what did he wind up being? A Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
The Chip Kelly, Deshaun Jackson thing?
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson, too. We ushered him out of town and called him a gang member. What did he do? He didn't do anything but continue to be the deep threat, historical deep threat in the league that he was. So, you know, I mean, people, you know, what they say, haters going to hate. You know what I mean?
Haters going to hate.
haters going to hate,
for sure, man. Yeah. I think Jalen Carter, like you said, he's a normal 21-year-old kid. He got his boys, you know what I'm saying? He's going to the NFL with his boys from college. They just came off 2 back-to-back championships. You know that they did the shit. Straight up. You know they did this shit. They know this shit. And they feel like if they came by themselves, they had to prove themselves more. But now they got dogs around them to help, you know, talk about them and already pump them up. So they already got like people in the building, you know, so they can keep the same vibe that they had when they were playing over there in Georgia, being the #1 defense ever. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. I love it. Just keep doing what you do, as long as you bring that fire this year, you know, because people talk about him, man. They're like, you know, the biggest question is rookie year. Is he going to be able to, you know, take up that role, be that role, you know, be that #1 dog, you know, take over for Hargrave type thing. You know, and I'm thinking like Hargrave is good. You know, he just got paid. That's good. But I felt like this dude has a possibility to even be even better his first year, just from his athleticism, his strength, and, you know, his dog like he's unblockable, they said in college. You know, they said he was never, you know, they don't even know too many times he was blocked when he was on top of his game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was unstoppable and he did what he wanted to do out there. So, you know, you got Jordan Davis, you got him with the power. You know, how do you feel about that? Do you think he's going to be that dog this year to come in and fill the shoes? Or do you think like Jordan Davis would be starting with, you know, Fletcher Cox and he'd just be rotational piece?
You know, my hope is that he comes in and hit the ground running, but realistically looking, you know, he's a young guy. It's his first year. And if we can get him up to speed, because, you know, you got positions out here that are easy to transition to when you go from college to the pros. Defensive tackle is easier than quarterback, you know what I mean? But it's still an adjustment. So we saw it with Jordan Davis last year. We expected him to be a dynamic defensive tackle. He was plugging up the middle and clogging the run. We didn't get the pass rush that we thought that we would get from such a big, speedy, athletic person. But I'm okay with it because it takes a minute for people to develop. We saw how long it took Brandon Graham and such. Fletcher Cox came in and hit the ground running. I hope he duplicates that. If he can come in and be like Fletcher Cox in his early years, we're in good shape, man. We're in good shape. But I want to kind of lower or temper the expectation, because that will also temper our feeling on how he plays. Like, you don't, I saw an article where they listed like four defensive tackles in the last maybe 5-6 years, and in their first year combined, they didn't have a big sack total, but by like now that collective group had accumulated 42.5 sacks. So they grew into their position and became the stars that everybody thought they would be. I'm sorry, I can't remember the names. I don't have the list in front of me, but it was some heavy hitters on that. And they didn't come out and just set the world ablaze. So I'm going to kind of temper my expectations, because he's here for the long run. You understand what I'm saying? But I do feel as though that it's not going to be a big drop-off with him, because he's just that talented. I just don't know if he's going to be a double-digit sack person, you know, right out the gate. I'm hoping that, but I want everybody else to be a little realistic, because I don't want you guys to be, you know, because, you know, us Eagles fans, we'll be calling them a bust and all this stuff because he had 15 sacks his first year and stuff like that. But I think that he's going to come in and he's going to plug that hole. We talked about a little bit last night, right? We talked about I talked about the fact that Howie did I don't want to get ahead of the schedule here, but I talked about how Howie has filled those voids that the roster had when the 5 starters from the defense left. And I think he got comparable talent to replace those guys. And Jalen Carter is one of those. He's going to be replacing Hargrave in that rotation. I think he's going to be dynamic.
See, that's where I'm at right now, Mike. Jordan Davis is that, run plugging, run stopping, big, huge mammoth of a DT. And like Pro Bowlers that are those style guys usually don't have very high sack totals. They're about plugging the hole. They have, about tackles for loss, those type of things. But they're not really big on the sack side of it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Jordan is ever going to be, a 10 sack, but I still see him as being like a 5 sack because he have the athleticism to do it. But this guy, he's supposed to be a pass rushing DT. You know what I'm saying? That's what I just blanked. I'm talking about that one guy we just drafted.
What?
Carter. That's what
Carter.
Carter's supposed to be. That the guy, the pass rushing DT. And I think if he's going to be that, I do think the talent around him is why everybody had so many sacks last year. It's not that individual player. There was a talent around Hargrave that gave him, the 11 sacks. You still had 11 from Sweat. You had like 11 from Graham. You know what I'm saying? You had Hargrave. Hassan Reddick, with 16 or something like that. Like you had a lot of sacks coming from a lot of different people, meaning, offenses were struggling trying to figure out, who to stop. And as soon as you stop one, you double team one. Now the other one's getting sacks. And you're going the whole game trying to figure out who you're trying to slow down when that is the secret sauce balance, Plus you got Pro Bowl, all pro cornerbacks out there holding your number 1 and number 2 receivers down. Plus, you have comparable safeties. None of our safeties last year were superstars, except for Charlie Gardner-Johnson. And was he really a star, or was he just benefited from the talent that was on that defense? Because when we dropped, we still won games without him.
Yep, exactly.
Our defense looked good without him. You know what I'm saying? So was he really that good? And he even said, I think, he even said himself that, it was easier for him. So who's to say that Edmonds can't be that guy this year? Who's to say that Brown can't be that guy this year? And now all of a sudden Brown's thrusted into the superstar role because he got 6 sacks this year in his 6 interceptions this year in his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, it's just to having the balance on front end and back end together. When you got that much talent on both levels, it's really, really hard. It makes like safety, linebacker, not so big of a all you need are good players there. You don't need superstar players there. You need good players there. Some dogs out there that's going to hit somebody. That's all you need at the linebacker spot and the safety spot, and a little bit of coverage skills on that safety spot. But you seen how good Blankenship played last year. You know what I'm saying? This guy was an undrafted guy out there making plays, hit sticking Debo, in the NFC Championship, hit stick fumbling Debo in the NFC Championship. So it's just like, it making me wonder the really like the value of the position and why we didn't re-sign him to no big year contract Hargraves, you know what I'm saying? And why we went in the draft, went for Jalen Carter, why we know, Jordan Davis is going to be somebody, you know what I'm saying? We got those pieces in, and the talent around them is going to give them that much more opportunity to go out there and make a big play, and like they're talented enough to, they came out the best defense ever in college history, you know what I'm saying? So that's saying a lot. There's a lot of great defenses out there, throughout the years, and they came out and they did their thing. So hopefully with enough of them, we got like 5 of them that's going to be playing together, you know what I'm saying? So with all those guys out there playing together, juicing each other up, that, you get to high performers, high production level. Jordan Davis, second year, I think he's going to be starting with Fletch, maybe starting out, and then it's going to go to a Jordan Davis, Carter with Fletch coming in with Milton Williams.
Well, you made a great point there. I like to jump on that because, and that's the one thing that I'm very optimistic about him coming in. Like I said, I kind of want to temper the expectation, but he comes into a great situation here because our D line is still very potent. So he's going to he's going to eat because he has, dynamic players around him. That's what made the D line so awesome last year. Like you said, you have to pick your poison. Who are you going to double team on this line? And when you choose that, we have talent enough that the other tackles, ends, or whatever can beat one-on-one. So you have to pick who you're going to do. Like you benefit from having a Fletcher Cox. You benefit from having a Hassan Reddick, and they have to give attention to him. So if you give this young guy Jalen Carter some one-on-one matchups, he can eat. He can eat. So like you said, Hargrave is a dynamic tackle, but how much of that was because he was playing on such a talented defensive line and he was getting one-on-one matchups a lot of times, and he just
because in the beginning wasn't Fletch getting double teamed, right? And Hargrave wasn't really even doing nothing. But then like when I think Jordan Davis put a little bit of pressure because he kept coming in on third down, so he'll clog that hole up. You know what I'm saying? And we're starting to see the value of that because people are like hating on Jordan. I'm like, Jordan had a great rookie year. First year at pro, like snaps that he got early. Because remember, Marlon Tuilopu was getting snaps early, a lot of snaps early, and Jordan Davis was getting snaps early on third downs, and running situations. So, they were doing their jobs pretty good there until they both got hurt. So, really the biggest thing with those guys injury. Jordan Davis got to prove that this is not going to be a reoccurring thing every single year. He's so big. See, even think about the tight end we had, Jackson, right? What's going on with Jackson? It's because he was so big, so fast, so athletic. We're like, we got to use him. We got to have him in the system. Got to make some room for him. But the guys keep getting injured. I don't want Jordan Davis to be that guy. I'm not knocking on wood, but at the end of the day, like, you got to prove it now. Let's stay healthy, big boy. You're in a rotation. You're not starting all 17 game, playing full games, man. It's like we got two lineups that are just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. Two lineups here. You got your starters, Josh Sweat, Fletch, Jordan Davis, Carter and Hassan Reddick. And then if that was the case, then you got BG coming off the roll, Milt William, Marlon, Street, and Nolan Smith. It's like, that's nice, man.
That's nice, man. We got people in the second wave of defense linemen that can start on some teams out here. So, you throwing two starting rotations of defensive linemen, and by the time we get to the second half, fourth quarter, the offensive line is wore down and we still fresh. And what? Come on, when we go to the NASCAR package, man, could you imagine Nolan Smith and Hassan Reddick both coming off at the same, man? Oh, I can't wait.
That is something, that is something my brain's been just like twisted over. Like, what are we going to see? How are you going to do it?
Yes,
who is the guy calling the shot? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? He doesn't talk to nobody. He ain't saying nothing to nobody. You hear players talk about, the scheme he talk about sound good. I'm playing. You see backups talking about they ready to play. Like, he got schemes for everybody. He got this whole package coming in. I heard that, we were going to go with, what's the dude that went to Miami?
Fangio.
We were gonna get Fangio, but the whole freaking, Jonathan Gannon thing, kind of pushed that over where Fangio couldn't stay. So what we go get a disciple of him and Sean decide, what do you think he's gonna bring for real this year? Because I'm imagining more of a 3-4, believe it or not, or even the 5-2. We can run that again too, because that'd be good too. I would like that actually a little bit more. You got more, I like the 5-2, but I think we can even run a normal 3-4 and pull it off. You have Nolan Smith and Hassan Reddick as your outside linebackers. You got Dean and Morrow as your inside linebackers there. On the line, you can stick big Jordan Davis right there in the middle with Josh Sweat, and I would use Fletcher Cox, because Fletcher Cox plays some good DN when he be out there at that DN spot. He plays some good DN. So that would be my starting lineup, and just keep those guys fresh by rotating guys in. You'll be rotating less number of guys in by running it that way, because those linebackers want to play all game anyway. You know how linebackers be. And you'll also be, keeping your linemen fresh all the time. They'd be rotating in pretty good there.
Man, I can't wait to see. This guy can be a mad scientist with this defense of talent that Howie has given him, man. Just like, a mad scientist I want him to get crazy. I want to get crazier than Gannon got, because we thought Gannon did a good job in having us as a number 2 defense in the league, led the league in sacks. Really can't hate on him, even though I still do hate him, but I can't hate on him for having number 2 defense. But I think he could have got even more out of that unit. If that makes any sense, as good as that defense was last year, does it make sense? Am I crazy to think that we could have even got more out of that unit if it was a different defensive coordinator? That was a very talented unit.
We could have got much more for it. We would have broke the record, hands down. We would have broke the record week 14. You know what I'm saying? We're building our own dynasty, our own legacy with it. That's why everybody's talking about the Eagles team last year being one of the greatest teams ever. They weren't talking about the greatest Eagles team. They talking about we were on pace of being like one of the greatest team ever. We would have just, I bet you we won the Super Bowl if woulda, shoulda, coulda. But if we won a Super Bowl, they would have said that was the greatest season. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest seasons ever. You know, from an NFL team, they would have called it, marked it down as going down to one of the historic book teams ever. So, you know, we were close. You know, we didn't do the job that we need to do. Gannon bummed out on us, I believe. And like, I hate him. Oh my God, I hate him. But to decide though, I think they showed, they showed something like Gannon was blitzing like what, 10% or something like that, 10, 13% of the time. And like this guy was like 22%. So it's not like it's double, it's more than double. It's like more than double, but it wasn't like, you know, 50% of the time, which is good because I don't think any team needs to blitz all the time. But there was a lot of games last year. You're like, come on, Gannon, get that pressure on them. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Why are you letting teams come back? You need to get that pressure on them right now. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't do it. You know, he just stuck to his guns, you know, and played this soft zone defense. And sometimes it did work out, you know, where it was just long drives at the end. We intercepted, get a turnover or something like that. But it's like, if you brought a little bit more pressure, you know, we could have ended drives a lot sooner.
And I might be, you know, because of my hate at Gannon, I might not be giving him credit, but I think that he was a beneficiary of having the talent that he had, and it was not as much of his scheme. It was, I think the defense was good despite Gannon. Actually, I think the defense was that good despite Gannon. He just had a lot of freaking, it was a talented defense, man. He benefited from having a talented defense. The players did a lot more than I give him credit for. Because I hate the dude now. So, you know, giving this defensive coordinator the same tools, the same talented defense, I think this guy is going to be even better than what Gannon did last year, especially if he's more aggressive, because we hated that. I mean, imagine he only benefited from the talent. If he ran that same scheme with lesser talent, that would not have been the number 2 defense in the league. Believe that. With that soft ass defense that he was playing, the zone and then giving up everything over the middle, and that's, you know, he benefited from having that talent. And now we have a new defensive coordinator, and I don't know much about his schemes. I don't. But I'm just assuming that he's going to be more aggressive. If we go by anything off, you know, he was the defensive coordinator for Chicago at one time, I believe. And with that defense, with lesser talent, that defense was not as talented as what he's inheriting here, right? So he did a good job with that defense. Now imagine, you know, what Howie has gotten him, the groceries Howie's has shopped and gotten him. He's going to be able to be dynamic here, and I can't wait to see this defense in motion, man. Come on, we got the young boy Dean coming on. We've been waiting for him. It's his time now. We're going to see a lot of them Georgia boys who played on perhaps one of the best college defenses in the history, right? We got 5 of them on our team, and then they're going to come out there, and I think that it's going to be dynamic for years to come because they're all young boys. They all are young boys. This is the defense that we're going to see for at least the next 4 or 5 years, all of them on the rookie contract. So I'm excited, man. I am very excited to see what's going to go down. And we're going to get, and you know, I teased this last night, and we're going to get Micah Parsons.
Oh, I said that too, man.
Micah's coming. I'm telling you, Micah.
He's not going to re-sign with the Cowgirls. He's coming to Philly. He can't hold. He won't be able to hold back, especially another disappointing season this year. I think then he'll do it. You know what? No, guys, I'm good. I don't need to re-sign. Thank you, guys. Don't pick me up. I'm good. And go re-sign with the Eagles. Sign with the Eagles, man. I see it happening too. You know, it's gonna be nice. Probably after BG will retire. We're gonna win a Super Bowl. BG retired. Then Micah Parsons will come in next year and replace BG.
And that's what's going to happen. We going back. We going back, and we're going to take care of unfinished business. Don't want to jump ahead, but you know,
that's what this man said.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen the best of them yet, though. Like seriously,
great segue.
How big of a jump do you think Jalen Hurts will take in year 3 now, right? Under the same system. You know, we've seen a huge jump from year 1 to 2 as a starter. How big 2 to 3 do you think is going to be?
I think it's going to be another huge jump, man. I think it's going to be another huge jump. You saw what happened when he was in the same offense for the first time in about 5-6 years of the same offense. You see how he progressed last year. Now this is his third year in the same offense, and I always say it. Jalen has that Mamba mentality. So right now, as we're talking, he's probably working on his game. You know what I'm saying? He's that type of player. He was just a couple of votes short of winning the MVP, and he doesn't rest on that. That's not good enough for him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He said the money's good, but championships are better. So, he's not relaxing. He out there putting that work in right now, and he's not going to be satisfied with being the same Jalen that almost won the MVP and almost won the Super Bowl. He's going to keep getting better until he's the Jalen that does win the Super Bowl. So he's going to be better. We got better talent even coming on offense. I think that the slot receiver that we picked up is going to be a big jump over Quez. I hate to even say that name, Quez. God damn, Quez, you got one goddamn job to do. You're a receiver, and that's to receive the damn ball, and he can't receive the damn ball. Eyes get big as damn watermelons when you see the ball coming at him.
I got something to say about that whole Quest situation. And this Ojulari guy is starting. I still believe Quest is 3. I still believe it in my heart, and I think he's gonna go out there this year and earn his Quest 3 role that he has. Because if you think about it, you get your slim, swole Batman, slim Batman, and speed Batman. You know what I'm saying? You need all 3 of them on the field at the same time playing at a high level. And I think it was kind of even like the Jalen Reagor effect with being more a man about it. Where he was like, man, the year before I just had 700 yards. You know what I'm saying? I was lighting it up, scoring touchdowns, 700 yards. Then we go get A.J. Brown. Now I move to the slot. I'm third, and I don't even get the ball because A.J. getting all the balls, and then Devontae's getting all the balls. Devontae broke the record for most receptions ever by Eagle. He was getting the ball thrown to him, and A.J. had the most yards by Eagle, so he was doing his thing. So he's just like, it's like, where was my Quest spot? You know what I'm saying? Where was my spot? And I feel like he didn't like that third role coming from – whenever someone goes backwards, some maybe go forward another role, you know what I'm saying? But when you go, you were nothing your rookie year. Then you went to 700-yard type receiver your second year, and then you go back down to nothing. You lose opportunities where you have mental mistakes. She said he wasn't there last year, but he manned up. He didn't do like Jalen Reagor and just pout about it. He manned up and said, okay, I was tripping, you know what I'm saying, about coming back this year, and I'm coming to do my thing this year. I think Quez is going to keep that third spot. And then not saying that even last year when Quez was playing it, you still have Pascal and you still have other receivers rotating in. I'm not saying that, this guy won't get his opportunities to make plays for this offense, but I'm saying Quez will still be the starting slot guy. And I think that it'd be the best thing for the Eagles because that guy's not as fast as Quez. You know what I'm saying? And if Quez can have the same year he had the year before, and even better because I expect him to be better. I expect him to be stronger, faster, you know what I'm saying, more focused this year. And if he does that, then yeah, that'd be hard to stop.
Well, I give credit to Quez because his impact not always is about catching the ball. His impact is using the speed to kind of free up the other receivers sometimes too. And he did that to perfection. He had the speed, and you had to cover Quez. You couldn't ignore him. And I'll invite the improvement. If he improves, I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm going to be happy about that. I invite him to up his game. I'm all for that. A fast Quez who can catch the ball consistently is what we want, and I would rather have that than to have anybody else come in. It's just that I don't know. My confidence level is just not high right now. I have to see it. You got to prove it to me type of thing, and he already said he's going to make us eat our words. Well, look, I got the silverware, I got the seasoning, I got the Lowry's. I'll eat all them words. I'll season it on up and dice it up, and I'll eat all them damn words, Quez. Make me eat my damn words, because if you make me eat my words, I know that this offense is explosive if you make me eat my words. So please make me eat my words.
Hey, Quez, I still believe in you no matter what. I ain't never saying you're going to 4. What people thinking, man? You the man. You're going to get out there and be the man again this year that we need you to be. Because like I said, like he has that perfect role where you might not get all the volume catches, but you're the type, he can have 3 catches for 100 yards, you know what I'm saying, on any given Sunday. So, he just has to understand his role, understand that when his opportunity strikes, make it happen. Make it, do your thing. Score your touchdown, you know what I'm saying? When that's
so what do you see? What do you see out of the offense this year? Who's going to emerge as the primary running back? Who you see?
He said, well, there it is right there. He said, what about Agent Zero, Mr. Swift? Man. I think it's his to lose. You know what I'm saying? I think it's his to lose. You know, you look at this report talking about, we're already talking about re-signing this guy, give him the extension before he even plays it down as an Eagle, because he is that talented. Talent-wise, he is probably more talented than, Booby. But, Booby really, that offense, man, like it's the same thing I said about the defense, how the back end covers the front end covers the back end. That's how it is with this offense, that passing game helps your running game, and that running game helps your passing game. And as long as both of them are playing at a high level, you can't stop either. So players are benefited hugely. Miles Sanders, before we all clicked out with the A.J. Brown thing, he had some nice seasons. But when we have the A.J. Brown, Devontae clicking, going on Goddard, going full cylinder, he had a great Pro Bowl season. He's the best. Like Booby's the best. Keep him what you doing. Don't let Booby go. But it could be the same effect that we're talking about with CJG. And, and maybe it is the same effect. All he has to do, him and Penny both, are pretty good when they're healthy. It can be the LeGarrette Blount, Ajayi type backfield. Penny being more of power and him being the more the lead back, out there doing the same. Plus, you still got Gainwell coming in on reception. The Gainwell doing his thing. So their backfield's going to be nice, but I do think it's Swift's to lose because I do think he's coming home for one. He's coming home for one. And like we talked about, connection is key. Connection is key for football players to release their full best talents. You know what I'm saying? When they're feeling comfortable at home, they're in Philadelphia. He's in Philadelphia. He got all these Georgia Bulldogs on his team. You don't think he's been at the last 2 championship games? So, standing on the sidelines talking to players. You don't think he know these boys already? Gone with it's like 7 Georgia boys you're going to have there when he first stepped into the building, And then even Ojulari, who we're talking about, him and that guy won state championships together in high school. So he got a lot of familiar pieces around him. And I think as long as he stays healthy, you're going to see the best season Swift's ever have. And I do think that if he stays healthy, he could be a Pro Bowler this year. He can benefit from this offensive line being as great as they are. And really make some splash. With Jalen Hurts pulling linebackers for you, you never had that over there with the Lions. What are you talking about? This offensive line, you never had that. You didn't have receivers, AJ, Devontae on the outside. You never had none of that. And Jalen being the best, to me, the best quarterback in the league, hands down. I think that he's going to really benefit from that one. And, it's going to be sky's the limits for him. It's like what he can do, what he want to do. I remember seeing his recruiting one video. I just watched that for the first time a couple of days ago. And they showed him running through the streets of Philadelphia. Everybody got his back. I'm like, dang, he was that known in, high school and stuff in Philadelphia. That, he made big old, videos like this looking on his recruit day. I'm like, man, he's back home now, man. He's not that old. Well, he's only like 4 years in. It's perfect time to get him. He understands what it's time to be a man, time to go out there and earn my real paycheck. We can keep him this first year and just see what he do, and it costs us nothing. We still got Penny. We still got Gainwell behind. There's free agent running backs out there. We really need to go scrounge, go grab one and throw in a team to help out. So I think this guy's Swift's going to go out there and light the league up this year. I think it's going to be the best Swift, especially wearing that agent number 0, first time ever in Eagles history. We got the number 0 worn in a football game, and it's going to be a primary back, so you're going to see it a lot. So he's going to make that number proud its first year. And I think Swift will be that lead back.
I agree, man. I think Swift is going to be dynamic in this offense, man. The key also all the time is him staying healthy, but he's that explosive back. I give him. He's a notch above Sanders to me. He's not a dancing type of dude. When he gets the opportunity to run through these lanes that our offensive line is going to open up for him, man. He's not going to be dancing anywhere. He's going to hit him, and he's not one that goes down very easily, even for his size. That was one knock on Booby. Booby was dynamic, but he didn't have any yards after the first contact most of the time. He went down. And Swift is he has a little bit more power. And I think he's just going to excel and flourish behind this offensive line. Who would not come here? Who would not want to come here and run behind the best offensive line in the NFL. I mean, we open up our offensive line is the best, and I think what we do best is run block. So
Yeah.
this guy's he's going to eat, and then he can catch the ball better than Booby out the backfield. He's going to be the ultimate weapon for this offense. So if there's any way that this offense got better, it did. It got better. It got better. We added Penny and Swift because I was all right with just Penny. You know what I mean?
Right.
If Penny stayed healthy, I think Penny's going to eat. And I do like your comparison between Blount and AJ Ajayi. That's what we have here. We probably have a more healthier AJ Ajayi because Swift, he doesn't have those knee problems like that.
There you go. Gainwell is definitely an upgrade from Corey Komet.
Yes, definitely. He got more speed than Corey Komet. He can Corey could catch though, I'll give him that. But he's much faster than Corey. Corey didn't have a lot of foot speed. But we got a better running back room. The offensive line is not falling off. They already talk about that. The offensive tackle that we got could possibly come in and play guard and start immediately. And
let's talk about that. Who do you think you should go with? Because Stalin knows both of these players. Stalin knows, this kid from Alabama, and he knows him. He knows he's more of a physical, bigger guy, but you talk about the technician and Jurgens. Do you want to get him more playing time, more reps because he is supposed to take over for Kelsey? Which one are you starting? Week one. Do you just say whoever wins? I don't even care because one's more of a run mauler and one's more of a pass. Get to second level pass blocking style. Guard. If he had to play it. So, which one are you going for?
I'm with you as far as I trust Stoutland, so whoever he picks. But on the surface, this guy that we drafted he's a powerful dude, yo. I think that if it's even at training camp, I think you give it to the young guy, right?
Right.
You give it to the young guy. I know Jurgens, second round pick and all, but we got the luxury of having him, be the heir apparent to Kelsey. Either way, though, it still provides us a lot of depth along that offensive line. That's what the thing that scared me the most when we lost those two Dillard and Seumau, was the depth, right? So I think that we got our depth is back. You know what I'm saying? We have the depth. So whoever doesn't start is going to be a valuable piece in the event that we have an injury along the offensive line. Both of these guys can play multiple positions. The tackle can play tackle and guard. Jurgens can play guard and center.
See, that's there. You look at too. Do you want to, like you said, if it's even, just go ahead and give it to the guy that's, give it to the guy that's the run block and, actual guard, mauler guard, and let Jurgens just go ahead. Yeah, we don't want to not play, but you're going to get a lot of reps on the scout team. And next year, Kelsey probably will retire. And you will just plug and play us. Having to Jurgens plays good, just like Landon Dickerson played good when he went to guard. Now he's like, okay, you can't move him no more. And then this other guy, he doesn't play center. He plays tackle. So you have to wait until whenever Lane Johnson leaves before you can even think about putting him on the field. You know what I'm saying? Now you're just delaying you got a whole delayed process going on instead of just saying, okay, put the guy in, and then next year, we're gonna go ahead and start you at center, and we're not even gonna draft nobody, not worried about it. We're just gonna go ahead and plug and play and keep rolling.
Well, how he's playing chess out here. He's not playing checkers. You know what I'm saying? So when his picks he's looking down the road for his picks. You know what I'm saying? Although we are in win now, don't get me wrong. I believe we are in win now mode and all that. But
even in that right mode, now, baby,
we're going to win now. Even with that in mind, though, Howie still is looking, 2 steps ahead. Like, Jurgens, we got Jurgens for the future. You know what I'm saying? This guy could possibly be for the future, but in the interim, he can play guard now. And if he's that good at guard, Howie will go out and get Lane Johnson's heir apparent next year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got like 12 picks next year or something like that. So it's no rush in the moving this guy to tackle. They said his arms is too short anyway, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays out in minicamp. But one thing for certain, this offensive line is still going to be beasting next year, no matter who's starting there, because Jeff, you go to Stoutland, and whoever he chooses to play on that line, I'm gonna be okay with it. I trust, just like I trust Howie now. You know what I mean? Whoever Howie picks, I'm like, okay, then that must be the pick. Because you know what I mean, this dude he's been hitting in the last couple of drafts. I got confidence in Stoutland. Whoever he says starts, that's who we riding with, and that's the best guy for the job.
Last night I heard you say you had no aspirations for Howie to draft Mr. Bijan Robinson. And I love Bijan Robinson. And I think I would have liked him way more than Swift because he'd been a younger, more explosive, bigger, better talent coming out. But I do like Swift, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, like, we didn't draft him. He went right before us. Do you think if it was the other way around where they went Jalen Carter, the pick they should have picked, because don't they have a 1,000-yard rusher over there and a 1,000-yard receiver over there? You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Patterson. And then you got Algelair had a 1,000-yard rush. You got a lot of running backs over there right now. You could have went for a guy that can help your defense become better. And he would have been in Georgia, you know what I'm saying, in Georgia at home, still doing his thing. And we could have got Bijan. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you have been
in hindsight,
if it would have turned out that way?
I wouldn't have been mad if they got Bijan. I was all right with getting Bijan. I mean, how could you not be all right with getting a potential generational running back? I wouldn't have been mad, right? But the hindsight thing, like, yo, so look at what happened. So if you had to do it over, knowing that you could have Jalen Carter and knowing this going in, would you still would have liked to have Bijan? Knowing that it wound up like it is today, we got Carter and we got Swift. Would you, if you had to do it all over again, would you say, all right, I'll go get Bijan?
Because like this guy saying, he thinks we did move up to get Bijan, but then he got picked, so we ended up getting Carter. And that's how I feel like it was. They were going to pick one of those two players. You know, whichever one was off the board, that's who they were going to pick. So, you know, Bijan was off the board. You know, how he made that call. True. And, you know, Eagles right there to go get Carter. And I think it would have been vice versa if if Carter went off the board, it would have been Eagles moving up a spot to go get Bijan.
Now, this is what I was thinking, because people might have thought I was crazy, but I'm like that. I'm with dude. I thought we had a shot to get both, right? Because Bijan was projected to go like maybe in the teens, right? So had we gotten Jalen Carter and the Falcons had not picked Bijan, I think Howie might have made a move up to get Bijan, right? Now that would have been great. I would have been happy with that too. I mean, Bijan and Jalen Carter, I would have took that.
Don't get me wrong.
I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad if they got Bijan.
You know, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not even saying that, you know, I'm mad about it. I love that we got Jalen Carter. I'm just saying, like, if you look at the premium of the position on our football team, I'm not saying anybody else's football team. I'm saying our football team. We have, without Jalen Carter, we still got 4 double-digit sack guys on our defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got defensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? We got bodies there right now that played at a high level last year. You know, that we got. Plus, you know, you can always bring back a Dominican Sue week 4. You know what I'm saying? If these young guys aren't panning out. You know, there's other guys. If Limbaugh doesn't get – I don't know if he got picked up or not. But, you know what I'm saying? That there's defensive tackles you can plug to do a specific job and be able to do a specific job, and they could come in and be that guy for that specific job, you know. But the running back position, like we're saying, like, yes, I'm saying if Swift stays healthy, he can go to the Pro Bowl. But it's like, hello, that's a big if. You know what I'm saying? That's a big if. You know, I know he hasn't been that hurt as of late, but I'm just saying, like, it's something that he's known for too. You know, just like Penny, something that he's known for is being injured. You know what I'm saying? Because they could have had better careers if they were healthy type. You know, running backs that were playing, you know, 16 games, 17 games, they have way better stats right now. The rate of running football. So I got 2 maybes. Or you got the number 1, you know, dynamic, you know, for sure thing that's coming out. You know, it's like that's a premium. You don't need to worry about having 2 guys to hopefully do a job that Booby did last year. You got 1 guy, you know, he's gonna come in and do it. I'm cool with Scott and Gainwell getting, you know, carries off the back end of that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I make the case for Bijan.
So Penny would have still been there. So it would have been like Bijan, Lee, Penny. Because you know how teams usually do that. They get that veteran back, you know, when they're going to go draft the running back, just so, you know, they have that veteran back to help mentor them and, you know, do.
I was excited, man. You know, when, like I said, I wouldn't have been mad. And I pictured, adding Bijan to this offense would have been crazy. So, I wouldn't been mad. I would not have been mad. The case I made for him, like, dude, the difference between like the Saquon Barkleys and the Christian McCaffreys when they were drafted so high in the first round was these guys went to teams to be drafted that high. You had to be bad, right? To get a draft pick that high to get the pick Christian McCaffrey and Saquon. But we are a Super Bowl contender. We add a back like that. Imagine we added like a Saquon Barkley to our team. I mean, he wouldn't have been asked to carry such a big load, coming into a losing situation.
All those cats went to shitty teams and still balled out their first years. Like, we're the team, was the number one lead dog, best player, best running back that year in the league, as rookies, first year players. So if he did that, man, with a Super Bowl team, you about to win, offensive player of the year, rookie of the year, first team all pro. It would have been like crazy to see what he would have done his first year. But like I said, we didn't get it, and I'm just hoping now that Swift could do, because I really think so. He's still young. That's the thing. He's not an old cat. This guy's still young. I think mid-20s, somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? So, and he played on good Georgia football team when he was there. So I think it's like a lot of things. It's not just the skills, the team, it's the culture, it's the environment, it's the people around you. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that a lot of these players are just like amping it up. Like Howie's just amping it up, putting more juice in there. Okay, you want some more familiarity? How about you get a receiver that you played high school ball with? You know what I'm saying? How you know what I'm saying? Like, running back you can play high school ball with. How about I got a running back that played at your alma mater? That you see every year. How about, we go, and it's not just the Georgia boys, it's the Alabama boys.
Alabama boys.
Freaking Devontae Smith. I'm going to give you Devontae. Hey, how about Landon? You want to bring Landon over here too? Oh, okay. I know you played at OU too. I got Trey Sermon for you. There's other tight end we just got, for you. Like, he's just trying to surround them with pieces and familiarity that could just make a team. It's like that's the superpower energy that the Eagle team has. It's like complete on both ends, run and pass on offense, and then pass in, run, stop on defense, man. To have a complete balance of like star players at all levels of the offense, man. It's crazy, man. It's going to be your offense and defensive line both being the best in the best in the NFL. I don't know another defensive line too deep like that. You know what I'm saying? No. I don't know another one even close, to be honest. If these guys play at the level that they should play, that's always an if. But I don't, I just don't see it. Like I said, that extra energy stuff, that's going to keep these guys healthy throughout the year. That's going to keep these guys moving. Yeah, Job too from Alabama. I think Job will get to PT too this year. I think people are sleeping on Job. I think that he ain't there no more. But I think Joe's gonna get some kind of PT because he was really. I think I watched him play here in Alabama. He's pretty good. But just all the camaraderie and the unity. And then you got the leader being Jalen freaking Hurts, this quarterback that's just doing things like no quarterbacks ever. Coming in just balling out, styling. Quoting things that people writing in books now. People are just like, what did he just say? What did he just say again? Everything come out of the mouth and just fire. You're like, yeah, that's my quarterback right there.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all ain't touching this guy. This guy is on that level that y'all ain't even reaching, can't even think about reaching. To miss 2 games and still be a couple of votes short from MVP is like, come on, my guy. Come on, he's ready. I think that's another. I think Jalen's winning MVP this year. He's Super Bowl MVP, regular MVP. He's getting the trifecta in the Super Bowl ring. He's gonna get the trifecta this year. And that boy's bad. And I think, like we talk about that jump. Woo! How can even you think about that? Even having Goddard, Devontae, and AJ together another year, what they did last year was historical for our franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? One breaks the reception record, one breaks the yards record, and they got to break the reception record, went over 1,000 yards too. May I add that? You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he was just, I just caught a lot of stuff at 900 yards. He was over 1,000 too. And then you got, Goddard, if he don't get hurt, he's getting over 1,000 yards. So he stay healthy this year. It's like, oh my God. Like, and they're going to play together again this year, all together, all young, talented. Oh man, it's going to be crazy to see what kind of step that is this year. Like, did you not think majority of every game last year was easy? It just looked like, it was just like, we weren't even like a lot of those games, we had our second team in. in the second
Yeah.
half, a lot of those games. You know what I'm saying? 3 or 4 of those games like that. It seemed like it was really easy last year, and I think it's going to be easy again. I know we got, they say that the Eagles do have the number one in terms of strength of schedule, I think it is.
Yeah.
Philadelphia hardest schedule in 2023. Eagles number 1, Dolphins number 2, Giants number 3, Patriots number 3, and Cowboys number 3, which is good for our strength. That's probably what boosted our strength of schedule so high, is because we got 2 other guys that are top, 3 obviously in terms of strength of schedule, and we play both of those guys twice. So, they went to the playoffs. I understand how it works, but how do you feel about this? Because I really feel like this is going to really show the league that we ain't bullshitting. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, if they don't know by now, I don't know what to do. I don't know.
It's
I don't
like
know
this
what
was
to
the
do.
perfect thing for the Eagles.
Yeah,
Was to have
you
this
said
part
it.
of a schedule.
We were 1/2 short of being considered one of the greatest teams ever that season, and I said it before we got to the Super Bowl, man. I was like, look, this Super Bowl is monumental because, and we have to start talking about it, but we can talk about it now, even though we came up a little short. But had that team won the Super Bowl, you would have had to consider that team last year as one of the greatest. I'm not saying top 3 of all time, but definitely in the top 5.
What other team did that? That would have been what?
Yeah.
What our record would have been? 21-1,
With
like
Jalen.
that. It would have been 21-1, right, for the season, because when you win the Super Bowl, you won an extra 3 games, right? 3 games or 4 games. So
yeah,
it would have been 17 or 18-1. 18-1, I think it is. Somewhere like that, where it's just like you only lost 1 game the whole year.
With the starting quarterback, with Jalen. We only lost 1 game with Jalen.
Yeah.
The other 2 we're not even counting. But yeah, I give you that. We would have had to been in the conversation for one of the top teams of all time.
How many sacks were we away?
I know. We were like, I think we finished 3rd most sacks in the history of the league. What was
Did we make it to 80? What was the record? Like 84 or something like that? 83 or
yeah, I think it was like 83, 84. We got like 82.
We made it like 81, right?
81.
If we included the Super Bowl.
Oh, in the Super Bowl. I don't know. I know in the regular season, but yeah. We include the playoffs and all that. Yeah, we were up there. So again, we would have to been considered one of the greatest teams, man. And even, I hate to put the asterisk on there, but we still one of the greatest teams to not win the Super Bowl. But we was just a half away, man. That team, we had the weakest last year, so we got to prove it. Fuck them, yeah. I see that. But we have the. If they didn't believe last year, they're gonna believe this year when we demolished this. It says 72 is the record. We had 70. All right, that was the regular season record. So that team right there, the second all time sacks, domination. I mean, because that's what you have to look at. That's what I'm judging on. I mean, we had a talented team. Our roster was crazy, best roster in the league. But the domination of the games we played, we only had 1 close game that I can count, and that was Indianapolis Colts. Everything else was dominant.
Some of the other games too that ended up being a little closer than you like, they weren't really that close.
They weren't that close.
It was over at halftime, and then Gannon played his soft defense, and now all of a sudden, they kind of, an Eagle player do something uncharacteristic. Even like I feel like I always say Eagles 17-0, and I really feel like the Eagles could have been 17-0 last year. BS didn't happen. Jalen don't get hurt. All the uncharacteristic stuff. People dropping passes. People fumbling in the red zone. It's like, come on, really? That don't really happen. That didn't happen all year long. Now it's happening now. It's like, come on, give it to me. Don't do that to me now. So I really feel like that the talent on the roster was good enough to be a perfect team.
And I still think it's that good too. I still think it's that good. And if we say that the talent is still that good, then that means, to me, it's better, because now if the talent is as good as last year's team, then it's a better team because we're younger. We just got younger. You know what I'm saying? So it gotta be better. So if this team talent-wise is on the same level, then this team is better because we got a lot of young people that are going to be here for some years to come. We had some older people last year that a lot of people on 1 years and they rolled. We might, like you said, we might have to bring Linval and Sue back, but I think we have the luxury of not even, not having to bring them in training camp. They're old. They don't want to come to training camp anyway. So we sign them in in October or so when we need them and bring them back in, man. I just can't wait for this squad to get on the field, man. All right. How you feel about the off season, the rookie camp? The rookie camp.
Hey, as long as everybody's staying healthy, I don't even care. I care about training camp. This rookie camp, hey, meet the team, go run some, get familiar with the playbook, meet some players, meet the coaches, get your pads, find out your number. Just your basic, beginning of summer workout. I'm ready for the hell week type.
Right.
Like we need to go out there with the starters and seeing what you're doing. You ain't doing nothing, some shorts, and shoulder pads right now.
Right.
So it's like my goal is, and during this time, is to stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Don't want to go do nothing stupid, overextend yourself and you get hurt before we actually hit the real football time. So, that's how I really feel about it, And then, like, to your point, too, with the defensive line, sorry to go jump back, but it's younger and it's more talented to the point where I think we might not even need to bring nobody else in for real. Like, if the guys stay healthy, all those DTs stay healthy, you won't need a Limbaugh, Joseph. You won't need, Marlon stay healthy, Milton stay healthy, Jordan and Carter stay healthy. You won't even need. Plus, we even had a couple, because people keep forgetting about. We got Robinson at the DN/defensive tackle from the Vikings too, who played some good football too. So we got some other pieces over there. That we won't really need. Morrow, 7-round picks there. Everybody saying that's a steal. It's like we still got bodies back there. So I think this is going to be that first year. The Eagles won't have to go to the reserve tank to get that DT spot filled. I think that these guys are gonna come out hungry and they can go get it. They're gonna go get it.
Come on. We had the healthiest year in a long time, man. If we can duplicate that, and that, that's going to definitely benefit Penny and Swift and the defensive line. Because I forgot Barnett was even on the damn team.
He's back this year.
Yeah, and he's back this year. You know what I mean? I didn't have in the equation.
A lot of Eagles Nation hate Barnett. I think he's good. I don't think he's like a superstar that everybody wanted him to be for being a number one pick. I think he's a good football player. Like,
oh yeah, he's
bonehead mistakes. It's like, that was bonehead, but at least you were physical. You did something.
Right. Yeah,
Go ahead, whatever, Barnett. Good job. Wrong time when the flag come out. When he does it and the flag don't come out, we're like, yeah, Barnett, get up. The flag go like, oh, you idiot. You ain't worth. So
the penalties do hurt.
Gets a hard rap, and I think that him being back is gonna be nothing but a plus. You forget that Barnett put that pressure on him in the Super Bowl. I said, don't forget about Barnett as a rookie. He ain't just the Reggie White, but he put some moves on to get him first Lombardi. So
let's not forget. If it
wasn't
think
about
for
that.
him getting that fumble,
I'm happy to see. I hope he come back healthy and motivated because he's seen what these guys did. Because Barnett ain't played on the defense like last year. If he would have stayed healthy, he could have played on a really nice defense, really showed his real talent, because that's what it's about. How much more talent do you got around me? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got all these all-pros and Pro Bowlers around you, then it makes your job a lot easier to do your thing.
That's exactly right. So we talk about the other players that benefited from being surrounded by the talent we had. Who to say that Barnett wouldn't have benefited the same way and maybe got close to double-digit sacks himself? We might have seen the true potential of Barnett last year playing with the talent that we had. So now he comes back. He's going to be surrounded by good talent. We may see that step up in his game too. This defense, everybody eats off everybody else. You said it. The back end feeds off the front end. CJ Gardner was probably just a product of playing in such a talented defense. And who's to say Brown is not going to be the same way? He was a ball hawk in college. He could come in and benefit the same way GJ benefited. So I can't wait to see this
college football. When you see all these first rounders coming from these great defenses, there's some of those first rounders that suck in the pros.
Yep.
They're trash. You're like, whoa, you were doing one of the best defense. No, you played your role on real talented defense that made you look better. You had opportunities to look better, and you capitalized that year on those opportunities that got you high drafted. But in reality, you were trash in the beginning. So everybody got an opportunity in this, the way it's set up. And that's like, it's both ways, man. Like, I ain't never seen an Eagles team from last year to this year. Like, this whole little transition we're doing, I've never, ever seen another Eagles team this complete. Never. And I'm 41. I'm old. So I ain't never seen. I've been watching Birds for a long time. Like just complete on both sides. Like you have to pass in the run. Usually you're missing one. Donnie had a lot of
Yeah.
the pass game, even though he had good receivers. He had a good running back that can receive type thing, but he
Right.
never had like dynamic receivers plus a dynamic running back with good running backs behind him at the same time. So it's like his career kind of was like, oh man, if you only had, and
Yeah.
once you got
Yeah.
him, you got rid of Donnie. And it's like, what are you doing? You just got receivers. You got Deshaun. You're getting mad. Like, why you just got rid of McNabb for? Like this is time to shine. But he never got that opportunity. It's just like we never had both at the same time. Even on defense, you had like a tough, stout, run-stopping defense, but your pass game getting eaten up. Or, you had nice cornerbacks back there, but your run game getting eaten up. And, it was never both at the same time.
No.
Like, okay, what you going to do? Pass it. I don't care. Run it. I don't care. You just tell me what I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how we are.
Right.
You just tell me what I need to do. I'm going to sit back here. I'm going to throw some things at you. And you show me where I need to make my corrections. And if you make them quick, man, it's a wrap. It's gonna be.
And I know defense coordinators out there. That's their job to stop this offense and all that. But we have not seen anybody come close to stopping this offense, man. That's what gives me so much optimism of going into this year. Like they still have not figured out what the hell they're going to do. And even in the offseason, there's probably D coordinators staying up all night now figuring out. Like, we're such a premier team now that people have to build their team to beat us. Like we're that team. Like we're changing the way defenses have to attack now because we got that offense now. Like, what do you stop? What do you stop?
And
we heard many commentators say this last year. What do you stop? Do you stop the passing game? Oh, we can run the hell out of the ball. You try to load the box and stop the run. We can pass the hell. What do you stop? They still haven't figured it out, and I don't think they're going to figure it out.
And the problem is that these defensive coordinators are going to have. There's one huge problem, and it's Jalen freaking Hurts. Okay.
Yep.
No one runs it like he runs it ever, and no one's coming out running it like he's running. He's his own breed in terms of how he runs it. It's very simple. It's not even, and that's what they're really pissed off about. They're sitting there scratching their hair, pulling out their hair because they're like, this is some easy stuff. We should figure it out. This defense should work against it. But no, because Jalen is that talented that he's going to create things that you can't scheme up, in terms of like, who are you going to stop for real? You really going to stop me? Because I'll juke you too. Not only can I just run, I can juke the pants out of you. Some of the best runs over the last 3 years came from Jalen Hurts. Straight up. Just double spin into the end zone, like bouncing off people. Like, look at me. I'm a running back, full-time back. Look at me. To the freaking Saints 2 times in a row, like juking the pants.
Breaking ankles.
Stopping on a dime going. Like, that's huge to stop when it's a quarterback. Usually quarterbacks that have that kind of ability can't throw the ball. And he showed you last year that he's the highest, one of the highest passers in the league. Like his second year, boom, look at me now. Look, I might not have 4,000 yards, but it's very efficient. I don't turn the ball over like the rest of you cats.
Right.
I'm very efficient. And, I'm doing my thing. And I got like close to 1,000 yards rushing with double-digit touchdowns over there too. So get off of me. That is something that defensive coordinator cannot coach. Especially, that's why I said we definitely needed a good back to replace Mouse Adder. We couldn't have went with Gainwell being a lead guy and it would have been as effective because then they would have just clamped down on Jaden a lot more. He would have get hit a lot more. But, having a Swift – Penny, those guys, they're healthy, man. Okay, now you Swift. You seen what Swift did. Hell, you seen what Swift did to us last year. 144 yards on our heads. Like, we had one of the best defensive ever. Now he's playing with the boys with a new motivation and new, light in life. So I think, it's going to be crazy, man. Like, you can't go.
Why?
That's why we're going to be so unstoppable. Our window is 5 years right now. Because he got a 5-year extension. After that, if you get extended again, then it's going to keep extended. The window will keep extended. Because I just feel like Jalen Hurts is the type of quarterback. You keep this guy healthy. You keep the talent around him, man. And man, he's going to destroy the league for years and years and years to come. He's going to win multiple MVPs. He's going to win multiple championships. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be talking about him, the new Tom Brady style guys. Because you look when he was in his developmental process. Who did he go to? All the greats. Tom Brady, give me your guy to taught you everything. Let me go hang out with the Mannings down in California and get some training with you guys. Go to the best talents that ever do it.
Yeah.
But tell
me this. I agree. I totally agree. But tell me this. Why they give Lamar more money?
It's a
Because
system.
you know, you
It's a
just said
system.
it, and I agree with you, and probably all of BIRDGANG Nation agree with you. Jalen is the best quarterback, right? So
Yes.
why Lamar get more money than Jalen? Why?
It's
He's
the
not
next.
better than Jalen.
It's the
He's
next
not
person to
better
get.
than Jalen.
It's the next person getting paid, and that's the
Yeah,
only reason why it's the next person getting paid. And the fact that he's won an MVP. He didn't almost win one. He won one.
yeah,
He didn't
he
win a
did.
championship, but he won the MVP straight up. Gotta give him respect for that. Do I think Lamar's better than Jalen? Hell no. Jalen's the
Nope,
best
I
in the
don't
league.
either.
Like I don't even, and I love Patty Mahomes to death. Like I am a low key second rate Chiefs fan just because of Andy Reid. Period. I love Andy that much and what he
Yeah, I
does for
like
our
Andy
Eagles
too.
that much that I fuck with them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like they cool. Long we not playing them. They playing us. They ain't. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I love Patty Mahomes, but I'm just saying, like, he does the most backyard passing. Like, his passing ability is amazing. Second to none. One of the best
Yeah,
I've ever seen. But he's not as complete as Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, being as dangerous as Jalen Hurts, as a quarterback, running and passing. You know what I'm saying? Still scoring touchdowns, but
yeah,
running and passing, putting up big yards. So the way the offense is set up, if you really want to be fair to Jalen Hurts, and I think that's why he was only a couple of votes short of it. If you want to be fair to Jalen Hurts, it's because he didn't need to pass more. You know what I'm saying? You talk about Patty
yep,
Mahomes coming to Andy Reid's system, throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game. We know what Andy did. He did it to the
yep.
point to where it didn't work to the point where he got kicked out of Philly. Same with Dougie P. Won a Super Bowl, thought his shit didn't sting. He kept going with that. I can pass my way into a Super Bowl again. And what happened? You got kicked off the team, my guy, because you got to run the football.
Right,
And Jalen Hurts and Sirianni started that way, but he quickly realized he was made a mistake halfway through that first year, and he changed it up, and you ain't seen him flinch. You know what I'm saying? If he was going to do it again, he would have did it last year. And there was points last year where he did do it, but that's because he was confident in Jalen. He's confident now in Jalen. He's like, okay, I can do it. I can put it in Jalen's hands to do it now. But even like early in the season, he started out the right way he was supposed to do it, man. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
And this is where I see Jalen improving, right? Because you look at it, and I'm such a Jalen fan, and I love him so much, and he had such a spectacular season that you have to really think like, where can he improve? I mean, he improved in every area last year. I mean, he already always ran the ball very good, right? He got better in that. His passing definitely got better from the previous year, right? And I think he's going to be even a better passer this year. Like, he's going to be even more accurate. Like, I think we're going to see Jalen make throws that's going to be crazy.
Hey, would you agree with me? That Super Bowl stamped it.
Yes.
That
he was
Super
the
Bowl
Jordan of that Super Bowl, yo. He was the Jordan of that Super Bowl.
All game long. All game long. Dimes. You're like, what? Is that my quarter? Is that Jalen out there?
Yes.
He's throwing dimes, my nigga. Dimes. For real.
Jalen was incredible. I'm telling
like,
you,
what? And he was running on him.
They used to. He's approaching, that Michael Vick superstardom, right? He's approaching that. Like this year, I think he's Michael Vick superstardom. That's what I'd see. Like that, the top of Michael Vick's, the height of his game when he was like the cheat code and
he got that first $100 million contract.
Yes, like Jalen is that he's about this year is going to cement that. Watch, it's going to cement his stamp on the quarterback position
because he can throw the ball.
Yes,
question. Like I'm like guys, man. Like that's why I love that I was. I told everybody jump like just do somebody guy because I don't think right now he's working out like you said. He's out there just getting better and better. He has to know now he got a girl, so we gotta watch that out because he got the bag and the girl. Y'all seen that became very official. Once Jalen got that bag, the girl like, okay, now you can say I'm your girl. You got 2.5 million. You can say I'm your girl now. You got the bag now. You put me out there. Okay, make that official. So Jalen is tied up. So hopefully that don't affect his game at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but he ain't married, he ain't got no kids, so he's still in that zone where he can do this thing for a minute. Get better and better and better and better. Until things do in life do probably slow you down a little bit. Think Carson ain't been the same since he had his baby. Like, we thought it. I'm not putting it on the game, but I'm just saying, like, he came up baby now. Carson ain't did nothing.
No,
he might not even be on the team this year.
Yeah, he might not even be on a squad. Nobody picked him up yet. That's kind of
No.
that's kind of telling right there where his career is, that he's not been picked up yet. The first wave of free agency, the second wave of free agency, he probably won't get picked up
Who
till
wants to touch you again?
yeah,
How many more first
yeah,
round picks? How many first round picks did people trade away for this guy? And he
yeah,
still never panned out for 3 different teams. I'm not touching him. I ain't touching him with
yeah,
a fishing pole. Like, nah, you can stay over there, Carson. You stay over there. You know?
yeah. He's
I thought
done,
even
man.
like I remember last year, like, okay, maybe the Eagles should just bring him back as a backup. He'll know his role. He'd be a backup. It'd be cool to see him go in
No,
there.
no.
But nah,
Our chemistry is too. Our locker room is too tight to bring in those type of cancers. We can't do that. We got to protect the culture. Like you said before, Howie's bringing in people that are familiar with each other, that has relationship. The chemistry is good. He brought in Jalen's best friend AJ. You know what I'm saying? And the jump is not. It's not surprising, right? Because I before last year I was like, if Jalen could take the same type of jump that the Bills quarterback,
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. I said, if Jalen could take that Josh Allen step that he took, we're going to be in good shape, right? And it wasn't hard to see the correlation of why he took that step. Josh Allen didn't take that step until he got Stephon Diggs, right?
Fact.
And Jalen took that step once he got A.J. Brown. You need that, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, we knew that Devontae was going to come back strong.
Right.
We knew that. Oh, man, Devontae almost broke the rookie record. Oh, he's right.
Yeah.
Oh, he broke the rookie record, and he's almost did 1,000 yards. Let's see him come back and do it. And we knew Devontae was coming back that year to get 1,000 yards, which he did, but he got more talent. You know, and that's what wins Super Bowls in this day and age. It's the only thing that can win Super Bowls. And it's going to get a little bit harder once the salary cap continue to grow. To continue to grow, you're going to be able to keep that many more players on your roster a little while longer. You know, you'll start getting to these teams where, like, you're picking and choosing what players you want when you want them. Like, okay, like, my team's almost perfect, but I'm going to get rid of you and bring you in because I got no money to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? The old school Dallas Cowboys when Jerry Jones was buying everything up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got the best squad.
Yo, look, they structured his deal. Well, and then I'll give, people were saying, I hope Jalen comes and gives us a hometown discount. And he still got paid, but I still think he gave us a hometown discount, not in the refusing money, but in the way he allowed Howie to structure the deal. Because if you look at the cap hits, right, the cap hits are ridiculous for a quarterback making as much as he. So basically,
but it was for not getting money because, like, Lamar wanted more guaranteed money. That was the thing that these guys were, like, really wanting the guarantee part. Like, Patty Mahomes had a ridiculous guaranteed money. You know what I'm saying? But, everybody wants this guaranteed money thing. Like, most of the contract full. And I think Lamar started off saying he wanted his whole contract fully guaranteed. Jalen got the no trade clause in his contract, but he took less. And I think that made him like 3rd overall or something like that in terms of guaranteed money right now. When you got the Patty Mahomes, the Watson, and I think maybe even the Kyler, one of them, it made him like, no, just those two. He was 3rd, yeah. So he was 3rd because overall guaranteed money wasn't there. But it's like, because now you got, if you don't guarantee, you still got like $60 million of unguaranteed money. You can move around that throughout all kinds of contracts. Like you said, that was a team-friendly deal just the way how he was able to structure without all that guaranteed money. He was able to, like, okay, I'm going to play with it here, play with it there, play with it there. And, just like they're talking about Patty Mahomes about to get an extension. He won 2 Super Bowls. That was a nice contract, whatever. But, he deserves more than $45 million a year now. So he's about to get a new contract. But guess what? That's going to make him the highest paid guy. And he's going to have like $55 million guaranteed, But every year they say with the way that, everything's building up with the salary cap, it's going to be going up like $25 million. That's an extra star player, a couple of good players, or extra amount of money you can actually give your star quarterback and still be able to produce a team, to get out there. So I think as the years go on, the team it's going to get a little bit more tighter in terms of like,
but you said he went to talk to the greats and stuff like that. So you don't think when he talked to Tom Brady expressed how much more important it is to win championships? He said it at the press conference. It was one of the quotables. Like how hip hop, you got to have a quotable in your jaw. He said it at the press conference. Money is nice, but championships are better.
You know why? Because championships bring you more money. What
Yes.
are you talking about? You
Right.
get your NFL contract when you can get, I got $100 million, $60 million guaranteed. When Nike can sign you because you're a Super Bowl winning champion and give you $200 million fully guaranteed in your bank
And
account.
all the endorsements that come with
all the
being a Super
endorsement money
Bowl
you make.
winning quarterback,
Jersey
you're going to make
sales,
up that money. You're going to
merchandise.
make that money up. I
And
mean, look, if you
Jalen,
look at
he was
Tom Brady, he was never the highest paid quarterback, but look how much money he was making off the field because he was a Super Bowl winning championship in the face of the league. That was worth more, and it allowed his team to get the talent so he can remain a Super Bowl winning quarterback and a champion, and that just brought more money.
More money.
So Jalen's
More
on the way.
money. It's a smart business deal. Do you want all your money coming from one source, or do you want a really good amount of money coming from one source, but a lot of other money coming from other sources? And that's what you got to decide as a player, because the cheaper you go, you're still a multi-millionaire. You're still $100 million guy. Life is good. When you have kids, they good. But you can have $100 million contract. You good, my guy. You good.
Man, we going back because we got unfinished business to take care of. We didn't get the job done all the way. And this is that tour. We need to call this the unfinished business tour this year, because we going back and we going to seal the deal. We really are going to seal the deal. Mark it down. What's the day? May 9th, 2023. Here on this show right here, Dark Knight called it. We are going to win the Super Bowl. Facts.
Hey, Dark Knight, I've been calling it too. So we're both calling it. Facts. I've been saying it. It's a wrap, man. I don't even think it's gonna be close. Which rematch? Because I see in here, these are all the playoff rematch games going on this year. And which game are you more interested in watching, and you really want to put your mark on coming up this season?
All right, the rematch I want to see is the Niners, because they've been talking the most shit. So I need to smack them down full strip. Not that I'm taking away what we did in the playoffs, because all that crying ass shit that they did, that's bitch shit. That's bitch shit. We didn't tell your head coach to block one of the best pass rushers in the league with a damn tight end. We didn't do that. That was your coach. Why are you mad at us?
Right?
Why are you mad at us? Your coach decided to block the best rushing pass rusher in the league with a tight end. That's not our fault. You know what I mean? And then the next guy you come in, your offensive line wasn't good enough to stop our defense, that monstrous defense, for coming in and knocking his ass out. Why are you guys mad at us?
Healthy. It didn't even matter. Purdy stayed healthy. He would have kept getting hit.
Yes, he was going to get hit all day. Come on, man. So I want to see them. I know everybody's thinking the Chiefs since it was the Super Bowl, but no. And I said this last night, and let me make my point again here today. The 49ers, and this is exactly what I said, because y'all kind of chewed it up last night. But this is what I said. I said the 49ers Eagles low key have the potential. Don't forget that word, the potential to be a good rivalry. Now, I understand we don't play in the same division, right?
A lot.
That's not what makes rivalry. And I've referenced the 90s Cowboys and 49ers. They were not in the same division. They didn't play each other every year in the regular season, but they kept meeting each other in the NFC Championship and throughout the 90s. Now, when you go back and look at it, that was a rivalry. And I said that this team and the 49ers have the potential to be the next big rivalry. And don't think that the NFL doesn't love that and is not going to look for that, because we are on paper and this past year into this year, the two best teams in the NFC. So what the NFL is going to love that. They're going to love to see us be playing each other in the playoffs for these up next foreseeable years, because we're going to probably face the 49ers this year coming up. And if they stay good, because we're going to be good, if they stay good, we got the potential to see them in the next few years in the playoffs and presumably maybe even the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and what you said ain't wrong. You know why? Because you always got your division rivals. Now, division rivals are the rivals. Because no matter what you see in these cats, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, That's your real rival. But like you said, there's always been throughout history, different generations where like rivalries were there. San Francisco Dallas rivalry. They were the only ones winning Super Bowls at the time.
Yep.
We're going to win it this year. So I can see what you're saying and see that. Yes, we played the Niners a lot over the last couple of years, for real. Like, I know a lot of, even in Cali, I've been to a couple Niner Eagle games in California, before I even moved, to where I'm at now. So it's like, we've played each other a good number of times. I got a lot of Niner friends to the point where it's like, now that we are the best, I just say every team's going to be our rival now, because we're about to be, like, people don't understand, we're about to be so damn dominant in football. It's going to remind you of those Niner days, of those Cowboy days, of those early Bear and, Green Bay Packer days of dominance. Like, we're going to be that dominating for a while. And you better just, you ain't got nothing to do but love and like it, because, this team's too young. Like I said, like the star players are signed for at least the next 4 years, all of them, besides the 1 year guys that we just picked up from 1 year. But the youth,
and our young boys, this year's draft class, last year's draft class, they're all young boys. We got them under control for at least 4 years. So we got better and younger, man, and that younger is going to, like, again, we're going to have them at least for the next 4 or 5 years. This team is it just look, what's that?
How many Tom Brady won? Tom Brady won what?
7.
Now, I'm not gonna say Jalen gonna pass 7. I don't know. I think he at least gonna get 5. He gonna get his 5.
I'm with that.
He might not get 7 like Tom Brady. I won't say reasons why. What I'm saying, but I know what I'm talking about. But he definitely gonna get that 5, baby. What I'm saying? He surrounded himself with the right people. I think.
No, if we start filming the opponents' practices, he might get 7. If we start recording the opponents' practices, we can get 7, like the Patriots.
We won't need to do all that, because in Howie we trust, man. That just the goat.
Look, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. If they cheated us out 2 Super Bowls, dog.
And somehow
the Patriots got us the first time, because that was during the cheat gate, and then they got us last year, man. I'm just set up because I don't want to sound like freaking Debo or nothing like. But that freaking field and that damn call at the end was bullshit. But I'm gonna drop that. I don't want to sound like Debo. Let's go on.
What do you want the first week? Because we already know Mama Kelsey came out. Is this it? Mama Kelsey came out. Where do I have it here? And she's told everybody. And shout out to Mama Kelsey, man. She's the most popular mom out there right now. When you got 2 Super Bowl sons out there playing in the biggest stage, both Pro Bowlers, all pros at their positions, both probably going to go to the Hall of Fame, and since that Super Bowl, she's been nothing but super famous, so she might not be used to what you're supposed to say and what you're not supposed to say when you hear information. She might not be used to it yet. She's getting used to the new stardom, what I'm saying? So she might not be familiar what things you should tweet about or not tweet about, but she definitely tweeted about the Eagles will be playing the Chiefs in the rematch in week 2. Do you believe it, or do you think the league, now that it's out, will leave it? Or now that it's how they can go change it up just because it was tweeted out there, they want to be different.
Oh, if that actually was leaked, I don't think they're going to rearrange. The schedule. There's a lot that goes into making up a schedule for 32 teams. So I don't think it's as simple as like, all right, let's switch this and switch that. Everything is done logistically and all that. So if that's true, right, I think it's going to stay.
At the very bottom, last week, I think it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs play Eagles week 2 in Airport.
And I'm cool. I thought it would be actually the opening week, but I'm all right with it being week 2, so we can get at least a game under our belt.
Yeah, and, I wanted it to be week 1. I wanted to go slap right off the jump. But actually, you know what? Last night, I ain't gonna lie, there is a game I want before that. I want Arizona week 1.
Oh,
in Arizona.
Great. Yo,
how about that? In Arizona, week 1, Jonathan Gannon on a platter and show you what a defense is really supposed to look like.
Right,
without an idiot running it. That's what I want, man. I just want to I want to go into Arizona week 1 and just put like a 50 burger on them, 52-7, just to shut them up and let them know that it wasn't him, my guy. He had nothing to
Yes.
do with it. And you were the reason why we weren't as dominant as we were supposed to be. And you were the reason why we weren't as dominant as we were supposed to be. And all the BS I'm hearing after you leave, man, we need to exile you early. Boom, get it out
Yes.
the way. Week 1, Arizona.
Smackdown.
Smacking Gannon around, baby. Smacking Gannon around.
I'm with that. I co-sign that. Yeah, I would definitely like to open the season against Arizona for the smackdown, the revenge.
It'd be
But
perfect too.
I don't think it would be.
If that league
I
is
don't
right,
think
it'd be perfect.
I want brighter lights than that. That's not those lights not bright enough.
That's bright.
That's only bright to us. I want the whole nation to be on.
D-Hop stayed.
I want everybody to be on those. I want us to smack I want us to smack down a bigger opponent on week 1 to put the whole league on notice that we didn't fall off any, and we still here, and we still going to be as dominant as we was last year. I know they're not going to open us up with the Cowboys.
We're playing the champions week 2, and I think that'd be perfect. Beat the hell out of Gannon to go slap the champions round week 2.
Yeah, that would be good to show them.
Perfect first 2 games coming out 2-0. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, that would be out. That would be out. I ain't gonna lie.
For disrespecting our team like that, not coming with your best in the biggest game ever, and then go slap the champions up. Like, okay, now that we had it our lightweight, let's mess with you. Go slap you up a little bit. Now who's messing with us the rest of the year?
Right.
It's like how you like put that fear in teams early, like boom, look what we just did. Bah, bah. 2 hard shots. You know what I'm saying? KC
2 headshots.
You're like, oh, the birds are coming. Watch out now. The birds are for real. You see what they did to KC last week? You see what they did?
Yo, some niggas need a headshot. Some niggas need 2
against Arizona, 42-14 against Kansas City. What are the Eagles doing? Who are going to stop them? Because those were the champs.
Yo, I put the not the schedule, the matchups. Put that up there again. Let me see the rivalries.
That was
Chiefs, Eagles, 49. We got some good ones, man. Giants, Eagles. I don't know. I mean, we smacked the hell out of Giants this year.
You know what
we smacked the hell out of them all 3 of the games.
I think that's my perfect first 5 games. Give me Arizona 1. Give me KC 2. Give me the Niners week 3. Woo. Give me the Cowgirls week 4. Woo. And then give me the Giants week 5. Bam. 5-0. Everybody just shut up for a while. Everybody just shut up. Like, we can end all that noise early for the 5-0 start. And those are my first 5. If you want to give it to us hard, because I don't even think these teams are close. Like, people are acting like, because some of these teams did get better. Giants and Cowboys had some good drafts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even going to hate on that. They added a couple other veterans that were cool, whatever. I'm not too scared of it. I'm not scared of nobody for real. No. So, but the teams got better as a whole, and they're already double-digit win teams. So you got to look at that like, okay, they got better. But they're not even close to our level. Like, it's the Eagles, right? Eagles here. Next best teams like here.
Yeah, facts.
Like, it's a huge gap in between us. I don't even care. I'm talking AFC. I'm talking NFC. Whatever you want to say. Complete teams, show me better on paper.
Nobody.
And it was show me better on paper last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now you know it ain't better on paper or on the field, period. Because we that good. So show me another team that's in that range that you even think. That's why Eagles are number 1. When Peter King came out with his top 5, top 10, whatever, power ranking, who he had number 1? Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
You know why? Because we the best team in football, period.
And Peter King is usually accurate. He's pretty accurate on his rankings and stuff like that. So when he comes out,
what you got to say? This is really the real stuff right here. Eagles, Chiefs, Bengals. And I think the Niners are a little too high because they don't even got a quarterback. And I know they did a lot last year without a quarterback, but they have a harder schedule this year too because they made it to the NFC Championship, so they had to have a harder schedule, period. So, and I think they won the division too, so they're going to have a harder schedule. So I don't think they're going to be 4 for real. So I will even say move Buffalo there at 4, and then Niners. But then they had the Lions this year. It's going to be
They got the
dynamic.
Lions at 6, yo.
You know, Ravens.
That's big.
Lamar Jackson got weapons this year. Ravens. If Tua can stay healthy in Miami, man, like
yeah, Miami.
That Waddle, and as good as AJ and Smitty is, the Waddle and Hill connection is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is ridiculous.
Crazy.
Both of them had like 1,400 yards last year. Waddle had way more touchdowns. It's like those guys are dangerous. Like, and they were doing it with Tua in, Tua out. It didn't matter who was back to that quarterback. They were still doing their thing because they're dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So
they are.
It might be.
Now you got the Jets number 9 with Aaron Rodgers, and that's and I feel like they were
cares
only
about Aaron Rodgers anymore. He's a guy of the past. He's already there. You know why? Aaron already sold out. You know what I'm saying? He started making all this other money in a lot of other places to the point where he wanted to, explore life, try drugs. I'm not saying he did it. I ain't saying he did. Sorry, I just cut that out. My bad. I ain't saying he did it. But you know what I'm saying? Dark cave retreats and stuff like that. Like Aaron is super rich,
Yeah.
3-time MVP. What? 1-time Super Bowl champion? Like his life is good. Okay. Aaron's been checked out. He checked out the year before last. You know what I'm saying? Like he been checked out. That's why when everybody thought he was gonna do the right thing, right? They thought he was gonna do the right thing, take less money to keep Devontae. Then I need more money.
No.
Go ahead and give me that money. I'm cool with Devontae. Hey, have a good time in Vegas, my guy. I'm gonna come visit you. I'll be here. We go hit the slots together, And I don't think that's the funny thing is that is the only position the Jets need to be a great team. Like the Jets got beasts on that team. They got some ballers. Their quarterbacks just suck. And they are just having the hardest time ever finding another quarterback. Like I remember those days. Like I can't even hate on the Jets. I remember the Eagles had that hard time forever until we got Donovan McNabb. Remember that long streak quarterback? We kept drafting and Eagles fans kept putting their faith in them. Kept putting their faith in them. And they were trash, man. They were not even good quarterbacks at all. They were super trash. Kevin Cobb, had a couple of good games.
God. Are you kidding?
Like all the Dittmer brothers,
oh my God.
Remember? Hey, Ty plays some good football. I ain't gonna hate on Ty. Ty had a couple of good games, my God.
We had a couple
These guys
good
breaking
games.
Colorado records coming to the league.
We ain't take off till Andy got McNabb and got a quarterback in place. It starts with the quarterback. He had to get a quarterback in place. And then once we got, and up until now, that Andy Reid era with McNabb was probably one of the most successful eras in Eagles football. We didn't bring home the Super Bowl, but that was we were contenders for about 10 years. We were Super Bowl contenders, 10 years. So, and I think that we're on that type of run now. Like we're going to be contenders and winners. This next 10 years is going to be crazy. We're going to be celebrating like the Patriots. I really truly believe that. We're going to be celebrating like the Patriots.
And what playoff wins? Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2 behind what? The Patriots?
Hold on. Who Big Simp team? It's Washington. Oh, all right.
Yeah, Big Simple to watch the context. Shout out my boy Big Simple.
I'm gonna give you a applause, Big Simp, because the curse is finally over from you since you guys sold the team to Dan Snyder, because y'all was never, ever going to win anything with him. So I congratulate you guys for the curse being over, but you're still not at the big boys table. I
believe in that curse that we talking about. That's what happened to us and the Andy Reid era. Donnie did his thing with Chunky Campbell. I ain't gonna say what he did, but that's my full belief, and that's why the Eagles didn't win no Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like he got paid. Like Donovan McNabb's a rich man. He did his thing. He did his thing for wrong reasons. And when you do that, the wrong reasons, man, that's what Andy Reid too, he knew about it. That's why he didn't win a Super Bowl with the Eagles. He won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. He is that good. But he make moves, man. Certain moves.
But y'all not ready. Y'all not ready to eat at the big. This is Thanksgiving, and the Commanders are still eating at the kids' table. We at the big table with the adults. You guys are still at the kids' table, and one day you might make it up there. But the curse is over. I know y'all gonna do something, but y'all not ready yet.
Who's their quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know. What's his name?
So that's what we're gonna end that conversation. And they didn't have that great of a draft. I know they were ranked 4th out of all the NFCs in drafting and power ranking. So it's like, you guys gotta show me something. Show me something, and I'll give you something. Show me something, and I'll give you something. Hey, Big Simple, no. Hey,
no, I got some friends that Commanders fans, and I tell them.
Big Simple be emotional. He gets mad when his Commanders don't play right. He gets mad, man. He got some of the biggest videos of him going off, and Big Simple die hard over there. So man, make sure everybody go check him out, man. Go check him out. But yeah, man, I think this team this year, man, we're about to start a whole new era of football. That's just like, it's going to take a minute for the league to catch up to us. And it starts with a championship. Like I said, I think I got something coming up here, so we're not going to get into that because it's just going to drop. But we got something coming up here. I really think like the way that how we constructed this team, it's about to be a wrap for a while. Because I remember back in the day, even though the Ravens only won, I think, 1 championship. Did they win 1 or 2 championships for one?
Who? Ravens?
The Ravens.
They won 2, I think.
Yeah, to Ozzie years, right? Ozzie Newsome. You're the GM, right? And I always think of Ozzie. I'm like, man, he know how to build a team.
Yeah.
Like, he's building these teams. Like, they always competitive. They're always right there. They just be missing one spot or together. But Howie Roseman's the new GOAT. And he's better than Newsome. He's younger. He's doing his thing. And I think it took trial and error to make him this great. And now he had that trial and error in his life already. It's about to be a wrap for him now. He's going to probably go down as the greatest GM ever to freaking be a GM in football, ever. And I already think he's there, especially if he wins another Super Bowl right now. You know what I'm saying? The moves he's made. It is not just player, it's like salary too. Like, he's doing both sides. You know what I'm saying? Back to that balance, baby.
He's a wizard. He's a wizard with the salary cap. But think about it, right? So
Eagles, sure. We balance, baby. Eagles,
they send him down the hall, put him in the closet when Chip Kelly was here. He comes out. By the time they let him out the closet, he comes out the closet. Is how you come out of a dark room and the sun hurts your eyes. It hurts his eyes, and he looks around. And fucking Chip just fucking demolished the squad. All he sees is destruction all around him when he look at the roster. Nothing. Howie commences to rebuild this squad, and in his second year out of the closet, we go to the Super Bowl and win. What happens after that? We think we're going to be a dynasty. Nah, Carson Wentz is all fucked up. The team falls from grace after winning 2-3 years after winning the Super Bowl. What does Howie do? He rebuilds the team again to the team that we had last year, arguably the best team in Eagles history. So he rebuilt 2 teams in a matter of 5 years to this status. And this year, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to be Super Bowl.
It should even better. You know what Howie did, though? For real? You want to give him the most props? The most prop goes to this one thing that Howie did. The first Super Bowl year, right? We were like heavy on like free agency, you know what I'm saying? Like an old player. So it wasn't that Howie didn't have a team together. It's just those guys were old. So over the next couple of years, they just kind of faded away. Like, you don't see like Garrett Blunt no more. You don't see J.I. no more. You know what I'm saying? You don't see a lot of them players no more. Like Nick Foles is even out of the league now. Like they just deteriorated away. Alshon was on this last leg. You know what I'm saying? These players were just older. I was like, okay. Let me go back and do it the right way. Let me get a trade for a lot of first-round picks so I can get a lot of superstar young players.
Right. Well, you know what I think happened? I don't think that was Howie's plan. I think Howie's plan was to do it like he's doing it now. I think that was his plan back then. What happened is I think the team accelerated so fast, and once we won the Super Bowl, he had to kind of change his philosophy because he was going to work towards that, right? It was going to be a slower build, but we got there so quick and won that he had to switch gears to like, all right, we're at the top now. How do I maintain it? So he started trying to maintain it with these free agency signings. And then when, like you said, they was older. So when it fell apart, he said, all right, like you said, now let me build it the way I was going to build it. We just
Yeah.
achieved. We were ahead of the process when we won that Super Bowl in 17. Nobody saw that coming. We didn't even see it coming. But we were ahead of we were ahead of schedule. So he had to re-pivot and say, all right, we're up here now. How do I keep us up here? So he started making some crazy moves, and the team was old. But now you're right. He's building it the right way. Now we got a young squad built for years to come, yo. Years to come.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice,
Crazy.
man. I cannot wait to see these guys play, man. So you said like week 1, you said you want to see what was your team?
Dag, what did I say? I forgot. I wanted to see the Chiefs, but that's not happening now that Miss Kelsey done tipped this off. So
Miss Kelsey. To be honest, I did until I read that today for real. I wanted the Chiefs first. I just wanted to slap.
I did. I wanted that. I
On a
wanted that
normal
Super
field,
Bowl.
not this jacked up football field that you had us playing on. Like,
Yeah.
You need every single way you gave Pat. You see, I don't like saying stuff because I will say stuff that's probably inappropriate to say. In terms of giving Patty Mahomes super juice, at half, how are you gonna almost break your whole ankle? You're already hurt on. Almost break the whole thing and then come out and be able to run. Like that don't make no sense at all to me. But that's another conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, he got a shot.
You gave him a super juice to make sure the Eagles don't do it because you knew the Eagles were that team. But you won't be able to deny it this year. The Eagles are coming. We're coming hot, baby, and we're gonna win that Super Bowl this year. Like you said, baby, we getting that Super Bowl this year.
Yep, we're getting that Super Bowl this year, and it's going to start from week 1. I can't wait. I don't know what the matchup is going to be. I know it's going to be primetime, though. I bet you that. I bet you our first week game is going to be primetime.
I think they were talking about two primetime games. They know the Eagles are going to do it. They're going to be doing triple header primetime. I think one's going to be on Thursday night. I think one was the Black Friday week, and then one was Christmas.
Yeah.
So which one would you rather watch? And see the Eagles on primetime? Yeah, I don't know, man. Last year the Cowboys, because we lost to them. What was it, Christmas Eve? I didn't like that. Like that messed up my whole Christmas.
Yeah, it did. All right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want another Christmas. Give me the freaking Black Friday Thursday night game. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about that. That ain't nothing serious.
Yeah.
Like that Thanksgiving. Whatever. I'll do it on Thanksgiving, but Christmas.
I like Thanksgiving too. Thanksgiving night. I like that.
Too. I do like it, but I'm just saying though. Like, which one would you rather have? The Thanksgiving letdown or the Christmas night? Not only is it Christmas, it's like the end of the season game. You know what I'm saying? Like it could really affect something game. Thanksgiving a couple more weeks. If you did lose that game, you can do whatever you need to do to, do what you have to.
Right.
If you needed that time, I don't think the Eagles gonna need that time. But if they need a time, I'd rather do the Thanksgiving game. I don't want the Christmas. You did it to me last year. I was down with the Christmas game last year. Like, yes, let's go whoop ass, beat the Dallas Cowboys ass on Christmas. And that's gonna be the best Christmas gift. And we won the first game. I'm like, oh yeah, baby, bring out the brooms. We're about to sweep you. And then to have them win like that, and the way they won, we had a back and forth bet. They barely won by 6 points. It was just like, I wanted them to still win. Regarding you play like trash, and the rest is history. So
yeah, the rest is history.
That'll be the Giants on Christmas. They said it'll be Giants on Christmas.
I'll take either New York team. I'll take Aaron on Christmas.
I'll take Aaron on Christmas because I don't think the Jets are going to be so much better this year. I do believe
they are,
but they're not going to be.
That would be a great one, but I don't know. They said the maximum amount of primetime games you can get is 6, so we're getting 6 primetime games. You better
all 6 of those. Okay, if Eagles are a 10 and it's only out of 10. What is the next best team? Like, give me your next 2 teams in the whole NFL, and what are they like? Are they right there 10s too? Are they 9s? Are they 7s? Are they 6s?
Oh, you talking about rated?
How big of a gap is there between the talent on the Eagles? Because for me, if the Eagles are a 10, the next best team is a 7.
Ooh, that's big, BG. So KC is a 7?
7.
7. Ooh.
Nah, I can't even say it. KC's an 8. I give them an 8. But then all the other teams are 7 for sure. KC, I didn't think KC, they could be 8. That 8's good. That's a good team.
8 is good. 8 is not bad.
I give KC the 8. everybody else is 7.
All right, KC, Eagles 10, KC 8. All right.
Do you think it's that big, or do you think it's like Eagles 10 or even KC 10? Whatever you want to say. Tell me how you would
I
rank
don't
it.
think KC 10 though. I'm sorry.
No, I mean like in terms of like Eagles 1, KC 1, Eagles 2, no, it'd be 10 or 8, 7, 9, like or Eagles 10 and KC 9. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll give I'll say the Eagles are 10. I can't disrespect the Super Bowl champs because they are that. So I'll give them a 9. Then
okay.
I'll start from everybody there after that. All right, so the Bengals, I think the Bengals are a problem. I think they're the biggest rivalry to the KC on that side of
Yeah.
on the AFC
They
side.
be
So
beat
I would
down
say
to
they was an 8. I'll give them an 8. Buffalo, put that joint up there with the top 10 teams that Peter King had. So I'll give Bengals. So I got the Bengals at what I say at 8.
8.
San Fran 8, Bills 7, Detroit 7, Baltimore 7, Dolphins 7. I know New York is going to be better, but I don't know if I can hang a 7 on them. I'll give them a 6.5. Dallas 6.5.
No. So you think the
6.5.
Dallas they're gonna be worse than Detroit?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
Detroit's a good
I'm
team
not.
this year.
Dallas don't scare me, man. I mean,
They don't.
they have
still got Dak
their
as their
coaching
quarterback.
staff don't scare me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and Dak, like y'all said last night, Dak does Dak things until he proves otherwise. I gotta judge him on what he has been. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see him. I think Dak has reached his ceiling. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he can go higher. I think the only place for him to go is down. And if you look at the past couple of years, that's what he's been doing. He's not.
Yeah.
He reached his peak. I think he's
Because
on the
that was a huge injury, and he got paid. So like getting paid like for a lot of players, that's a whole nother world. Now you're living a whole nother lifestyle. You're not working out as hard. You're not doing as much stuff. Stay in shape. And then like not only that, you had everybody see the injury on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like that was ridiculous to see someone ain't gonna do that. And you knew from that point on he's not gonna be the same ever. Like that wasn't like something that you go, okay, yeah, he's gonna come back be full strength next year. No. Okay, you don't know that. And I think that getting paid in the significance, because he had got injured before that, but it was nothing really that big. And then once you got that big injury plus getting paid, I just think he's, like you say, he's never been the same. He's not gonna ever be the same. And he can't ever be the same. Like it's a mental
and that's
thing.
the difference, man. With the people,
Wow.
it's an insult to compare Dak to Jalen. That's an insult.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's Romo 2.0. I agree with that. But that's an insult. Like Jalen.
Do you think the Cowboys got some kind of like quarterback curse going on? If you look at it, it's like kind of the same thing for
they have the same curse Big Simp and them had.
Yeah.
They're not winning no more until Jerry Jones is not. You know what I'm saying?
They're not
winning. He's never going to sell the team, right? He's never going to sell. He's going to be there until he dies. So that's not going to happen. But they're not going to win until he's not making GM moves anymore. Until he stopped playing fantasy football. And I give him credit. He plays fantasy football a lot better than Dan Snyder does. But no, I think they're cursed too. Because what's his biggest problem? They kind of mask some talent, right? But maybe his coaching, his picks for coaches has not been the best.
They had talent,
this clown that they got.
At the end of the day, like, I don't know, Jerry doesn't ever overextend himself. Like that's their thing. They're not overextending themselves to try to, end this. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, we're good. I mean, I know we're good.
Yeah, that's what it is. Cool. I agree with Joseph right there.
They're not like, okay, we're good to the point where like we're almost there. Let's just go ahead and just go all in a year to try to like put us over the top, and then now we can continue to keep that over the top thing. They're just like, we're good where we're at. We're gonna add a couple more pieces to make us keep us good where we're at. we're kind of staying firm. Like we're never
No,
going to
Joseph
over.
said it, man. They got a coaching curse, and it's Jerry's. He does all right on talent and
I think
building
when Jerry
roster.
retires and like what Stephen Jones take over, is the curse over, or is it because he's the son? It still be
It's,
there.
they gotta have better picking finger for coaches, man. Their
Do you
coaches. You
need
think about their
a new
coaches.
Jones, or just get the Joneses out of the picture completely before they start winning?
I think I don't know, man. They it's whew, I don't know. I know their coaching has been suspect. Their picks for coaches, the past few coaches have been very suspect, and I think that has been the thing that has held them back more than anything. They had an awesome offensive line at one time when they brought Zeke in and all that.
They
They've
won all
had
those
talent.
Super Bowls too.
Yeah, I'm talking about with Zeke.
Oh,
Yeah, since Zeke came, I mean, he built a great offensive line. Defense is talented. They got talent over there, but the coaching is horrible. The coaching is horrible. Who was their coach before this guy? Garrett. Garrett was horrible.
yeah, horrible.
This guy is horrible. Who was the coach before Garrett? They just don't have the coach the players. They don't.
True, man.
And it's one thing to have the talent, because I had this question with our coaching staff
But
last year because it was only their second year. So my biggest fear last year was that we was going to have, because it was no doubt that our talent on our roster was superb, right? My biggest fear is the coaching staff ability going to match the level of talent that we have. We need a quality coaching staff to coach quality players. Now, our roster was so talented, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that it didn't matter because we had Gannon, right? So I don't know how many people agree with me, but the talent on defense was superseded Gannon's ability to coach them. They outplayed. He benefited from having that talent. It wasn't his scheme, and we're going to find that out, right? With this guy,
yeah, in Arizona this year, we're going to see that.
Right, we're going to see that, right? So that was my biggest fear. Like,
I think
do we
Jerry's
have
just
the
like
quality of coaches to coach the talent that we have on this
he's
team?
such a
Because we had the
dinosaur.
talent.
You know, you got to look at, if you just look at the whole owners thing, how many owners you've already seen die? You know, and teams are restarting now. You know what I'm saying? Like with new owners and new motivation. Some teams are even coming up because like these older owners, Jerry Jones is a dinosaur. He's been around for a long time. You know, like he had influence in the NFL as a whole, like not just as a team owner. Like he like kind of runs the NFL too. You know what I'm saying? Like he got old
Yeah.
school money. You
Yeah.
know, to the point where it's like he does remember these guys. Like he be trying to pick up as head coaches of being, good.
Right.
You know, like McCarthy won two Super Bowls. I watched it. You know what I'm saying? He be watching it. You know, like so he's like looking at it in that aspect where he's looking at it a different light to the point where he's just too old. You're not trying to change that much. You know, a new coach is gonna bring so much new stuff to the table when you're interviewing them. You know, I want to do jet sweep this way, that. Whoa, slow down, young buck. You know, this is what we do over here in Dallas. You know,
Right.
can you do that? Can you do
He's
that?
outdated. He's outdated.
Yeah,
He's a dinosaur.
outdated. Yeah,
He's outdated.
I think that's really the biggest problem with Jerry until like he's gone. I don't even know if his son can do it. I feel like it might be a thing where it's like, his son's part of the curse. So it might be
he might be. He might be
the
right.
Joneses are out of Dallas.
I mean, compare their front office to our front office. Modern. We bring in young coaches. We don't bring in, young
Lori,
innovative coaches.
Lori do a lot, man. He's like he makes movies. He does a lot of things that no one even know about. Like I remember when I was like finding out some things about, like, man, he do a lot of stuff. Like Lori ain't he's an activist. He does his thing. Like I love Lori, man. Like that guy's a real entrepreneur.
We got a modern team.
He's a modern team with modern money.
Modern modern offense.
You got that bread.
Got the modern quarterback, changing the way the game is played.
Another question. Any of these quarterbacks in the league right now, do you think they ever, because Jalen's going to be developing. He's already broke a lot of records right now. You know what I'm saying? For someone in the second, he's broke a lot of records. Not only can see that continuing, if you want to just keep the projection going, are there going to ever be another Jalen Hurts?
I think I would say
I feel like
I don't want to disrespect him by saying yes because he's one of a kind. But I'll say this, right? This is the way the modern game is going. Like it's no longer you draft the drop back quarterback, stays in the pocket quarterback. It's this is the new age quarterback, and Jalen's a prototypical of that kind of quarterback. Lamar is in that frame. Pat Mahomes is even in that frame. An athletic quarterback that can move and run and throw too. I mean, even Allen is in that, and he's a white guy, but he's in it also. You know what I mean? Can run and also throw. This is the new prototype typical quarterback. It's no longer going to be just drop back in the pocket and just pass. The defensive linemen are so big and fast nowadays. You can't have a quarterback. You can't have the Tom Brady type quarterback. That's not the quarterbacks you win with now. You got to have somebody that's athletic and also can pass the ball and smart enough to read defense. This is the new era of football, and everybody's got to get on. Come on, how many black quarterbacks was drafted this year?
But I'm saying in terms of the point of like, this is not new still, but like Jalen's new, but the whole thing, like you said, you put the Lamars, the Patties, and all these guys. They're not like Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Vic, Randall Cunningham. You want to go old school. He's the first one you're bringing into the motion. You know what I'm saying? Like Randall Cunningham, great. And I don't even think you don't put them on the same level. They're kind of different in their own aspects. You know what I'm saying? In their era, they have different impacts in their area. Then you got to the Donovan McNabs, and there's just been quarterbacks throughout the year, the Bigs, the Mahomes, the Kyler Murray's. Like, there's a lot of them. Like you said, Josh Allen's like, but I feel like they're always teetering one way or the other. They're like 60-40 pass or run.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Jalen, what sets him apart is he's 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the only quarterback to me that's 50-50. Like, it's elite on both sides. You might be elite passer, good runner, or elite runner, good passer, but it's elite on both sides. 50-50 split. And I think that is the one ingredient with Jalen Hurts' game that is different. If you want to add all the other accolades and, his mentality and all that other stuff, which definitely pushes him way ahead of everybody else too. But that one thing, the 50-50, it makes it so like you don't have to run a complicated offense. It helps the coaches out. These coaches are laughing. You see Howie and Nick always and all their prep stuff, they're just laughing. They're just chilling. These guys became best friends. Like, we hit the jackpot with this second round pick, and now he makes everything so much more easier for us, moving forward. So I just think that's a huge thing. That's why I don't know if there will be, either you're going to try too hard to be a runner or you're going to, and pass too good to, not be or whatever. But it's like that perfect 50-50. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback perfect 50-50. Like, there's always one or the other. Good runner, elite passer, good runner, or vice versa, but never. To me, I think Jalen, that's what separates him.
Yeah, Jalen is special. He's the total package. You're right. He can run, he can pass,
make a decision.
He can make his decision.
Making a decision comes off of you can keep that simple of an offense. Because our offense is not hard, guys.
Right.
Like, on Sundays, we play some of the most basic offense there is. It's just the players playing those positions, doing it, can do it at a high level.
Yeah.
Like they can do better than your guy, period.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it better than your guy. And the offensive line does help. I will say that. The offensive line is key, and that is Howie, and that's drafting, to make sure you're protecting these guys. So you think about all those other guys we talked about, from the Josh Allens to the Lamar Jacksons, Kyler Murrays, Michael Vick. None of them really had lines like this. They didn't.
This offense is incredible. It's simple, but it gives him so many options. You can run the same play 3 times and have 5 times and have 5 different options every time with Jalen under center. Facts. You know what I'm saying? That RPO. He can come out the first time, stick it in the belly. If the end doesn't crash down, keep it, run it. You know what I'm saying? If he does crash down, give it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many things that can happen out of that seemingly simple offense, man. That's why I don't think defenses can solve it. Because what do
Never
you
going to
stop?
be
What the
able
hell do you
to.
stop?
I'm telling you, they're not going to be. As long as Jalen's our quarterback, they're not going. Why do you think his record last year was 14-1?
Mm.
He only lost one football game last year, guys. One.
Yep.
Yeah, he lost more than one.
Oh, he won 2. I mean, he
You
lost
know,
2 because he lost the
who?
Super Bowl. Super
Oh
Bowl.
yeah,
And
if you count the Super Bowl, I'm just
if you
talking
count the
about
Super Bowl.
14-1 to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna do that, you might as well add the other, games he won too, the other 2 games. So he's 16-1,
Yeah, 16.
16-2
Yeah,
last year. Lost 2 football games all year long, and the second one being the best game ever. Like, and this is his second year. The development process, everything else tells you that he's only 24 years old, man. 24. What year? How old is Tom Brady right now? He retiring.
Tom, like 50, ain't he? It's like, no,
Right?
damn near like 45 or something like that. Tom damn near, he like 44, 45. Been
So
playing 20
imagine
years.
if Jalen plays that long. So he's more
Now,
of a
do you
running
think his
quarterback.
style of
I would take
play?
5 years off of Tom's career, off jump, just because he's a more 50-50 running back. I mean, running back / quarterback.
Right.
50-50 more. He takes more hits than Tom probably will. So I'm going to take like 5 years off of that. So we say he's, 45. Okay, Jalen played till he's 40. Yeah, that's still a long ways away. 16 years ago from now.
Yeah.
Like, and if he does it right, like that's another thing that he's different from all the other athletic quarterbacks. It's like he's very safe with the football. He knows how to throw the football away. He's fast enough to get away from you enough to throw the football away. He can juke the hell out of you and make moves on you, so he don't take all the hits a normal quarterback would take when he is running the football, and he's kind of fast. It's just like, and he slides. Carson, remember that's the number one thing we hated Carson couldn't do, slide. We're like, damn it, Carson, just slide right.
Or
like,
throw it away. Like,
throw it away.
We have had quarterbacks
what?
as recently as Carson Wentz, as recently as Michael Vick, that didn't make good decisions with the ball, like when the play broke down. But Jalen, that's one of the beauties of him. He saves his body. He's conscious of getting down or getting out of bounds or throwing the ball away. He's a smarter quarterback, and that's why I think his style of running is not going to be as it's not going to deteriorate his body as much as like Vic running. Vic to take
or
some
Lamar, or even
Lamar.
Josh Allen. Like, these guys got lead plays for them to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see Lamar line up with 2 fullbacks. They hide the ball, and it was go time. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing with Josh Allen. He got a double tight with running backs. Go. Like Jalen run is more because the play breaks down. It's open for him to run, or he'll throw it away. Or on a running play, that's the option. So it's like the option game itself is like a pick your poison type thing. If you look like you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna throw it. Give it to my running back. If you don't look like you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna take off and get my yards. So it's like that's even kind of safe in itself because no one's really going full speed. They're trying to figure out what the play is going to be about. So that's a safe run. And everybody gets scared about the quarterback sneak, but I never worry about that. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And Jalen runs out of bounds. Facts.
Yep. He saves his body, man. It's just
Eagles will win Super Bowl this year, man. It's gonna be crazy. So, I think that this number 1 ranked schedule for us this year is gonna be nothing but proof in the pudding. Something that we've been saying all last year, the year before. Jalen Hurts is that guy. The Eagles that team. We're gonna be the best team in football. And the rest of the NFL just got to catch up, because you're not there now. No one. I don't think there's no one that's where we're at right now. I'm not even being cocky. I'm just saying the way he constructed this unity, this team together, like no one's on that level. So it's going to be good. We got a lot of good years coming up for the Eagles. And the blessing of this all is the season's not even here. We got months away. We're still going to add some more talent to this roster. It's going to look even better come week 1. And that's hard to imagine. If you get any better than what it is right now, that's even scary. That's even scarier. So, I know the Sixers coming on, my guy. We're going to get to that Sixer. Game 5, 2-2. Let's see what's up. I need my boy PJ to score some points, and I need Harden to score some points in my FanDuel. So I'll be watching it. But let's go with the last final thoughts and let's get out of here, my guy.
All right. So the state of the Eagles is very, very bright. We are in the best position we've been in probably a decade. Just coming short of the Super Bowl and the number one contender to win. I think that we're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, right? And it's deservingly so, because Howie did a wonderful job in restocking this team after losing some key players from last year's defense and a couple on offense. He's more than replaced those players, I think, as far as talent-wise. And in free agency, he's done a job. And then through the draft, he's done an even better job in replenishing the talent that walked out the door last year. So, again, I tell you, I said it earlier, if this team is as good as last year, it's better. It's better because we're retooled with younger players. And what's younger players through the draft? Cheaper labor. Howie's a wizard again, taking care of that salary cap, restructuring. Signing Jalen to a deal that's so team friendly allows him to continue to work his wizardry with the roster and go out and get the free agents that Jalen's going to need to continue his ascension to Super Bowl champion. So the state of the Eagles is, if it was a stock, it's on the buy. You need to buy a lot of Eagles stock right now. So that's my summation of the state of the Eagles.
Hey, go ahead and tell them where they can find you on your social media platforms. Shout out to all you guys. His link is inside the chat. We put it up a couple times. Make sure you guys go hit Real Eagles Talk or Eagles Talk over there on YouTube, Facebook. I think we got both links inside the chat. But anywhere else you want them to find you at, Dante?
IG, you can find us at Eagles Talk. On IG, you can find me at Dante the Dark Knight 1911. On IG, follow, subscribe, and on Twitter at Eagles Talk 3. Check us out. We'll be on Thursday talking about the schedule when the schedule's released.
Hey guys, I still want to go on one of y'all shows. Y'all be lit. Yeah. Like, to me, y'all the YouTube, y'all the Facebook goats for me. Y'all the Facebook goats. I was over there on Facebook like, wow, man, like there are a lot of people, doing your thing over there. So y'all need to get BIRDGANG on the show. On episode.
We come. Oh, you coming on Thursday?
This Thursday we can. It's crazy right now. So I want to tell all my fans, man. Listen, I'm set. We have episode 2 or episode 3 of The Truth with me and JC Sports Talk on Thursday, and I have Birds Broad Street. So unless I can do a double show that day.
He talked that stuff, but he's the busiest man in Eagles content creator kingdom. He's the GOAT. He's the hardest worker, man. I'm not gonna say he's the hardest because it's a lot of freaking Eagles. We talk about Simone out there. We talk about Philly. It's a lot of people out there, but this dude right here gets it in, man. I would like to have him on. I'll be busy, but this guy's busy. Look at him.
We can say this. Listen, y'all free next Thursday. After schedule release, because right now I got 2 shows, and I don't even know if I'm doing 2 shows or not that day. So because they're kind of at the same time, so I need to talk to all my guys and see which show I'm going to be in. So I might be on Birds Broad Street, guys, but I might be doing episode 3 of The Truth. Me and JC Sports Talks Thursday. So check that out, man. Just hit the like. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button on both channels. You don't get 5 content every single time you hit it. You know what I'm saying? It hits your phone. You're going to be like, update, Eagles Talk. You know it's going to be a 5 show. BIRDGANG 31 is going to be a 5 show. So just do what you do. If you love the Eagles, you just go ahead and subscribe to both channels. That's what I say.
We love the Eagles.
And I thank you, BG. Thank you for coming on, man, like that. I'm going to leave y'all. And what do you guys think? Tell me in the chat. So go ahead and go in the chat and tell me what you think about this video with our boy Jalen Carter, because I'm saying Jalen ain't no gangster.
No.
He just know what time it is for sure, and he got that swag. So we're going to end you on this, and then, like I said, leave it in the chat. Subscribe to all channels. You got some more fire content coming.